Aria Nolan sprinted across the wet sand. Hey, stop. You'll drown. The boy in the waves didn't answer. He kept walking deeper into the ocean. The water climbed past his waist, his chest, his shoulders. Aria ran straight into the freezing water. Are you crazy? She shouted. A sudden wave knocked the boy under. Aria dove forward. Her hands grabbed his shirt and pulled with everything she had. Breathe. Come on, breathe. The boy coughed violently as seawater poured from his mouth. For a moment, his eyes opened. Dark eyes. Confused. You jumped in, he whispered. Of course I did, Aria snapped. You were drowning. The boy stared at her like he wanted to say something else, but then his eyes slowly closed. And that was the last time Aria Nolan saw him. At least for a while. Years later, Aria Nolan was still known for the same thing. She said exactly what she felt. Every time. No hesitation. No filter. Which was how she ended up standing in the middle of her middle school hallway saying, Ryan, I like you. Ryan blinked at her. Students walking past suddenly slowed down. You like me? Ryan asked. Yes, Aria said. You're funny. And you helped me with math yesterday. Ryan scratched the back of his head awkwardly. Oh, thanks. Aria waited. So, do you like me back? Ryan didn't answer. The next morning, Ryan's desk was empty. He transferred schools, the teacher said casually. The entire class turned to look at Aria. Someone whispered, Didn't she confess to him yesterday? Aria laughed it off. Guess he was just really busy. But that night, lying in bed, she stared at the ceiling. Did I scare him? She murmured. Across the room, her twin sister Elena looked up from her book. You say things too directly, Elena said gently. What's wrong with that? People aren't used to it. Aria groaned. Well, I'm not going to pretend I don't like someone. Elena smiled slightly. That's because you're brave. Aria rolled over. Or stupid. By the time they started high school, everyone knew the twins. Elena Nolan. Elegant. Quiet. Perfect grades. Her straight black hair fell perfectly over her shoulders. And then there was Aria. Curly hair that refused to behave. Loud opinions. And a reputation for confessing her feelings. One afternoon after school, their neighbor Marcus leaned against his bike outside their house. Aria walked up confidently. Marcus, I like you. Marcus choked on his drink. You what? I like you, Aria repeated. Do you want to go out sometime? Marcus looked uncomfortable. Actually, Aria tilted her head. What? Marcus sighed. I kinda like Elena. For a moment, the world felt quiet. Aria said. Marcus quickly added, It's not because you're bad or anything. Aria laughed. It's fine. Seriously. But later that night, she sat on the roof of their house, staring at the stars. Elena climbed up beside her. You're thinking about Marcus, Elena said. No. Yes, you are. Aria sighed. Why does everyone like you? Elena frowned. That's not true. Ryan left. Marcus likes you. At this point, I might confess to a tree and it'll run away. Elena tried not to laugh. I'm serious. Elena leaned against her. You're not the problem. Then why does everyone reject me? Elena thought for a moment. Maybe because you confessed too fast. Aria stared at the sky. You know what? She said suddenly. What? I'm done confessing. Elena raised an eyebrow. You? Yep. No more confessions, Aria said firmly. Ever. 3 months later, Aria walked into Westbridge High School for the first day of the new semester. Her best friend Mia grabbed her arm immediately. Did you see him? See who? The new guy. Aria rolled her eyes. You say that every semester. No, seriously. Look. Across the courtyard stood a tall boy speaking to a teacher. Lucas Bennett. Calm posture. Sharp uniform. Everyone around him seemed impressed. He's in the advanced class, Mia whispered. Top of the entrance exams. Aria shrugged. Cool. Lucas suddenly glanced toward them and smiled. Aria blinked. Why did he smile at me? Maybe he knows you, Mia said. No chance. Later that day, Aria dropped her notebook in the hallway. Paper scattered everywhere. A hand picked them up. Here. Aria looked up. Lucas Bennett. Oh, she said. You're Aria Nolan, right? Yeah, how do you know that? You answered a question in class today. You mean when I accidentally corrected the teacher? Lucas laughed. Exactly. Aria stared at him. Why are you laughing? Because most people would be terrified to do that. Well, I'm not most people. Lucas nodded. I noticed. For the next few weeks, Lucas kept talking to her. At the library, after class, sometimes in the hallway. Mia nearly exploded every time. He likes you, she whispered one day. No, he doesn't. He talks to you every day. That doesn't mean anything. Are you going to confess? Aria froze. I promised I wouldn't. But you like him. Aria groaned. Don't say it so loudly. Mia smirked. So you do like him? Aria buried her face in her hands. Maybe a little. One afternoon, a jar appeared on Aria's desk. What's this? Mia asked. Aria opened it. Inside were tiny folded paper stars. I'm making them, Aria said quietly. For Lucas. Mia gasped. You're going to confess. Aria shook her head quickly. No, I'm just giving him a gift. That's basically a confession. Sure. Mia leaned closer. How many stars are you making? Aria hesitated. 8,000. Mia choked. 8,000. If I'm giving a gift, it has to be impressive. You're insane. Probably. Aria smiled slightly. But across the courtyard that same day, a black car pulled into the school parking lot. A tall boy stepped out. His arm was in a cast. His eyes scanned the campus slowly. Then they stopped. Right on Aria Nolan, the girl who had once pulled him out of the ocean. And the boy in the cast whispered under his breath, So you're here too. The next morning, the entire school was buzzing. Did you hear? Mia whispered as she rushed to Aria's desk. We have a transfer student. Aria barely looked up from the paper star she was folding. Okay. No, not okay. He's older. Like senior older. So. And he looks like he walked out of a drama. Aria sighed. You say that about every new guy. I'm serious this time. Before Aria could respond, the classroom door opened. The teacher walked in with a tall boy behind him. His left arm was in a white cast. His expression was calm, almost cold. This is Noah Blake, the teacher announced. He'll be joining us for the rest of the semester. Noah gave a short nod. His eyes scanned the room. They stopped on Aria. Just for a second. Then he looked away. Take the empty seat by the window, the teacher said. Noah walked past Aria's desk. For a brief moment, their eyes met again. Something about him felt familiar. Aria frowned slightly. Do I know him? She muttered. Mia leaned closer. Know him? I'm trying to marry him. Focus on class. Over the next few days, Noah Blake barely spoke to anyone. He came to class, took notes, left immediately. No small talk, no friends, which only made everyone more curious. One afternoon, Aria walked out of the library carrying a stack of books. She wasn't watching where she was going, and slammed directly into someone. Books flew everywhere. A hand grabbed one before it hit the ground. Careful. Aria froze. It was Noah. Oh, she said quickly. Sorry. He handed the book back. You carry too many things at once. That's because I procrastinate and then panic. Noah stared at her. You say things very directly. Aria blinked. Yeah, people say that. There was a strange pause. Then Noah asked quietly, Do you still jump into oceans for strangers too? Aria's eyes widened. What? Noah lifted his cast slightly. You pulled me out of the water 3 years ago. Aria stared at him. Brightwater Beach. The boy she saved. You're that boy. Noah nodded once. You remember? Of course I remember. Aria said. You almost died. You yelled at me. Well, yeah. Because drowning is stupid. Noah let out a small laugh. It was the first time anyone had heard him laugh at school. You haven't changed, he said. Aria crossed her arms. Neither have you apparently. Still trying to drown. Not this time. How did you even end up here? My mother moved. Oh. And you? Noah asked. What about me? Still confessing to everyone you meet? Aria choked. Excuse me. I heard about it. You heard rumors. They seem accurate. Aria pointed a finger at him. I'll have you know I stopped confessing. Noah raised an eyebrow. Why? Because it's humiliating. For a moment, Noah studied her face carefully. Then he said something that made her heart skip. That's a shame. Why? Because honesty is rare. Aria didn't know what to say, so she grabbed her books and quickly walked away. But her heart was beating strangely fast. Over the next few weeks, Noah began appearing everywhere. Library, hallway, cafeteria. Sometimes he didn't say anything. Sometimes he just sat nearby. One evening, Aria was struggling with a stack of exam papers. "This makes no sense," she groaned. A chair scraped beside her. Noah sat down. "Show me. You understand calculus?" "Yes." "Show off." Noah took her pencil. Within seconds, he solved the problem. Aria stared. "Okay, that was annoying." "You're welcome. Why are you helping me?" Noah shrugged. "You saved my life. That was years ago. Debt lasts." Aria smirked. "So you're my life servant now. Don't push it." Meanwhile, the jar of paper stars kept filling. Lucas noticed it one afternoon. "What's that?" he asked. Aria quickly covered it. "Nothing." Lucas laughed. "That definitely means it's something." Mia jumped in. "It's just a craft project." Lucas smiled. "Well, it looks nice." Aria's face turned slightly red. Across the room, Noah watched the interaction quietly. Later that day, he found Aria in the art room. "You're making those for Lucas Bennett," he said. Aria jumped. "Do you sneak around corners or something?" "I walked through the door." She sighed. "Yes, they're for Lucas." "How many?" 8,000. Noah paused. "That's excessive." "It's meaningful." "You're going to confess?" Aria shook her head. "No, I promised myself I wouldn't." "Then why the stars?" Aria looked down at them. "I just want him to know he matters." Noah didn't respond immediately. Then he quietly sat down. "What are you doing?" Aria asked. "Helping." "You're folding stars?" "You need 1,000. Aria blinked. "You're serious?" "Yes." She stared at him. "You're weird." "So are you." They worked silently for a while. Then Aria suddenly asked, "Why is your arm in a cast anyway?" Noah's hand stopped. "Accident." "What kind of accident?" "Family." Aria frowned. "What does that mean?" "It means we should change the subject." She didn't push further, but the answer stayed in her mind. A few days later, Noah spoke again. "My mother owns a salon." "Okay. You complain about your hair a lot." Aria gasped. "I do not." "You called it a rebellious cloud." "That was one time." "You want it straightened?" Aria froze. "Like, permanently?" "Just styled." She imagined it. Straight hair like Elena. Like everyone else. "Maybe," she admitted. "Come tomorrow," Noah said. The next evening, Aria stepped into the small salon. Noah's mother greeted her warmly. "You must be Aria. How did you know?" "Noah talks about you." Aria turned sharply. "He does." From the corner, Noah said calmly, "Sit down." An hour later, Aria stared into the mirror. Her curly hair was smooth and straight. She looked completely different. "Wow," Mia said when she saw her later. "Lucas is going to faint." Aria laughed nervously. Across the hallway, Noah watched quietly. But that night his phone rang. He stepped outside to answer. "Yes." A man's angry voice shouted through the speaker. "You think you can hide from me?" Noah's jaw tightened. "I'm at school." "You're coming home tonight." "No, you don't get a choice." The call ended. Noah stared at the dark screen and whispered, "I won't let you ruin this too." Because soon, everything in Aria's life was about to become much more complicated. The next few weeks passed quickly. Aria's jar of paper stars slowly filled to the top. Every afternoon she and Noah sat in the art room, folding them. Sometimes Mia joined. Sometimes Lucas stopped by to chat. And every time Lucas appeared, Aria's heart jumped. But strangely, Noah always got quiet. One evening, Mia leaned across the table and whispered, "The school picnic is next week." Aria froze. So that's the perfect time to confess." Aria stared at the jar of stars. 1,000 tiny pieces of courage. "I don't know," she said slowly. Mia groaned. "You spent weeks making those." "That doesn't mean I have to confess." "Yes, it does." Across the table, Noah kept folding stars without looking up. "Do it," he said calmly. Both girls turned toward him. "You think I should?" Aria asked. "Yes." "Why?" Noah shrugged. "You've liked him for months." Aria studied his face carefully. "Are you sure?" "Yes." His voice was steady, but his fingers crushed the star he was folding. The day of the school picnic arrived. Students poured into the park near the lake. Music played. Teachers set up food tables. Mia grabbed Aria's shoulders. This is it. Aria held the jar tightly. Her straight hair moved softly in the breeze. Okay, she whispered. Across the field, Lucas laughed with a group of students. Go now, Mia urged. Aria walked forward slowly. Her heart hammered. 1 step. 2 steps. Lucas noticed her approaching. Hey, Aria. She stopped in front of him. I brought you something. Lucas looked curious. What is it? Aria held up the jar. 1,000 paper stars. For me. Yes. Lucas smiled warmly. That's really thoughtful. Aria opened her mouth. This was the moment. The confession she had imagined 100 times. But suddenly something felt wrong. Lucas looked kind, friendly, but her heart wasn't racing the way she expected. Instead, her mind showed another face. Noah. Quiet Noah helping her study. Noah folding stars. Noah watching from across the room. Aria's chest tightened. Lucas tilted his head. What were you going to say? Aria stepped back slightly. I forgot. Lucas chuckled. That's okay. But Aria was already turning around. She scanned the park desperately. Where is he? She murmured. Mia grabbed her arm. What happened? I need to find Noah. Why? I don't know. But deep down she did know. Aria ran across the park. Past the food tables. Past the lake. Finally she saw him. Noah stood alone near the trees. His back was turned. Noah. He turned slowly. You confessed, he asked. Aria stopped in front of him, breathless. No. Why not? Because... She hesitated. Her mind raced. Then the words escaped before she could stop them. I think I like you. Silence. The wind rustled the trees around them. Noah stared at her. For a moment something bright appeared in his eyes. Hope. But then Aria panicked. Wait, I don't know. I just said it without thinking. The hope disappeared instantly. I see, Noah said quietly. Aria waved her hands nervously. I just meant you're my friend. And you helped me a lot. And... You don't need to explain, Noah interrupted. His voice was calm again. Too calm. I understand. Aria swallowed. Good. He nodded once. Focus on your studies. And just like that, the moment ended. 2 weeks later, Noah stopped coming to school. Mia rushed to Aria during lunch. Did you hear? Hear what? Noah's leaving the country. Aria froze. What? His family's moving overseas. Her stomach twisted. That night her phone rang. Unknown number. She answered. Hello. Noah's voice came through softly. Hi. Aria sat up immediately. Noah, where are you? Packing. You're really leaving? Yes. There was a long pause. Then Noah asked the question quietly. That day at the park. Aria held her breath. Did you mean what you said? Her heart pounded painfully. If she said yes, would he stay? Would he fight his family? Would his life become harder because of her? Aria squeezed her eyes shut. No, she whispered. I didn't mean it. The silence on the other end felt endless. Finally, Noah spoke. Okay. The call ended. Aria stared at her phone. And suddenly tears began sliding down her face. Months passed. Graduation day arrived. Students celebrated across the campus. Mia hugged Aria tightly. You're the top student. Aria forced a smile. Yeah. But something still felt missing. Later that afternoon, she cleaned out her locker. At the back, she found a small notebook. Her name was written on the cover. Inside were photographs. Hundreds of them. Aria studying in the library. Aria laughing with Mia. Aria arguing with the teacher. Aria folding paper stars. Her hands trembled as she turned the final page. A short message was written there. You saved my life once at Brightwater Beach. I stayed because I hoped I could save yours too. Noah. Aria's breath caught. He loved me. Without thinking, she grabbed the notebook and ran. Out of the school. Past the streets. Toward the place where everything began. Brightwater Beach. The waves crashed loudly against the shore. Aria slowed as she reached the sand. And then she saw him. Noah stood near the water. A suitcase beside him. He looked up as she approached. You came, he said quietly. Aria walked closer. I read your notebook. Noah didn't answer. You idiot, she said suddenly. He blinked. What? Why didn't you tell me? I didn't want to pressure you. Aria shook her head. I lied that night. Noah's eyes widened slightly. I did mean it, she continued. I like you. The wind blew her hair across her face. But I was scared you'd stay and ruin your future because of me. Noah stepped closer. My future was never the problem. Then what was you? Aria blinked. Me. I didn't think you'd ever choose me. She laughed softly. Turns out I'm the girl who always confesses. Noah smiled for the first time in months. So are you confessing now? Yes. And you mean it? Aria stepped forward and hugged him tightly. Yes. Noah wrapped his arms around her. The waves crashed behind them. For the first time since the beach years ago, neither of them felt like drowning anymore. And that was the story of the girl who always confessed. Sometimes honesty breaks your heart. Sometimes it saves it. But in the end, the truth always finds its way back. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below telling us. Would you have confessed like Aria? Or kept your feelings hidden? And if you want more emotional stories like this one, stay tuned. Because the next story might be even more unforgettable.